Hello, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to the revolution. Will not be televised, it will be streamed. This is the platform where we have provocative, poignant, prolific, and powerful conversation about life and leadership in the digital age. I'm one of your hosts, Dr. Ricky Allmon, along with my brother, my friend, my road dog, and my fellow host, Reverend Stephen Thurston. Actually, we're just Ricky and Steven. How about that? We're going to take it
That's
off of
it.
our
Yes, sir.
tags from now on. Hey, y'all can find out anything else about us. Google us. But we just Ricky and Steven. That's how we going to roll from now on. So we going to drop all the tags because we want you all to be connected to us and we want to be relatable and relevant to you all. Steven, what's going on, man? How you doing?
All is well, man. Good to see you. I'm glad we got our show back. We've had some
Oh,
some some, some takeover people over the past couple of weeks,
I'm
but I'm
I'm
glad we
glad you
back in
brought it
town.
up. I'm sure they watching. I mean, they really trying to take this from us, man.
Yeah.
I thought we were being nice, bringing them on, and they taking
Get
it
that
from
Jezebel spirit.
us. We're gonna have to cast it out.
That's it, man.
Yeah. Well, man, who is this show for, Steven?
This show is for the pastor, the entrepreneur, the consultant, the digital content creator, the social media influencer, the corporate exec, the educator. Hey, anybody who's looking to maximize their potential, mobilize their purpose, and multiply their productivity. So, Lottie Dottie and everybody, this platform is for you. Plug in with us on a weekly basis to get content for free that you would have to pay a whole lot of money
Wait,
for.
hold on. I don't think they heard what you said. We're
I'll back it
giving
up.
we're giving them voluminous content
That's it.
for free.
For free.
FREE, all caps.
That's it. That
So
they would
let me tell
definitely
you,
pay some good money for on somebody else's platform.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, so they talking about us in the comments. I just want you to know that. I'm about to put some. I'm about to put some on the screen. So Gary is running his mouth. Just so you'll know, we're gonna have a little fun today, y'all.
That's it,
I
man.
know we can be serious with y'all a lot, but we're gonna have fun. Gary is talking. So for you all who don't know, Gary is one of the hosts on our first Saturday's Revolution remix, along with his partner in crime, Tisha Dixon Williams. Yeah, I'm putting y'all on blast today. Stop playing with me. We talking about y'all. So look, here is our subject today. Because I ain't got time to mess with him today. Y'all got y'all attention last week. The spotlight is on us, okay?
That's it.
So sit back and relax, chill out. So 2 weeks ago, we started this conversation, Stephen, about unplugged. Of course, I'm blaming you for it because you wrote the book. And
I'll take it.
if you don't have the book unplugged, I don't know if he got one where he is. I wish he did. We'd hold it up for you. But you need to go get it. It's an ebook. Just go to stephenjthurston.com. Everything is there. All right. So
Yep.
he wrote this book called Unplugged, really helping you to tune in to yourself.
Correct.
And so we talked about 2 Saturdays ago about ways to unplug, how to reconnect with you. That conversation seemed to resonate with so many people that we had to come back to and revisit the conversation again. So today we're going to talk about power surge protectors, how to protect you from you. Stephen and I were hanging out yesterday, and during our conversation, as it normally is, we started just following different lines of thought,
Yeah.
and we begin to explore and unpack the watch this the inherent need to have some surge protectors in your life. In other words, it's not enough just to have external things that you do, like we shared 2 Saturdays ago, but there are some things that need to be inherent. There are some things that should be built into your life that are
Yep.
just a part of the fabric and fiber of your life that literally holds you together when your world is
It's
being
pulling you
torn
apart.
apart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of people being pulled apart today, Stephen, and they need to know how to hold it together. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, how to protect you from you. And we're just going to have conversation. So if you've got comments, if you've got questions, those that are in the Facebook group for the revolution will not be televised. It will be streamed. Thank you for being here. Invite at least 5 other people to join. This is going to be an amazing conversation, insightful conversation, inspiring conversation. And I told you, we just going to have fun today. So type your comments. Let us know what you're doing to protect yourself from you. Those that are on YouTube, we're checking you out too. We're looking everywhere today. So I'm looking on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, welcome. We're so glad that you're here. And leave us your comments as well. So let's get into this, Stephen. Let's start here. Would you agree that the key to mental health is not limited to, but consists of emotional intelligence and spiritual stability?
Yes, sir.
It's not limited to those things, but would you say
Correct.
those are critical?
They're critical components. I totally agree. There's a piece that I taught at Salem, where I'm currently serving. I think it was last year. And one of the kind of the taglines in that lesson that I taught was that we have so many spiritual giants, yet they're emotional midgets.
Say that one more time, please.
We're dealing with so many people who are spiritual giants, yet at the same time, they're emotional midgets.
Wow.
I wish I could take credit for that. But Peter Scazzaro, Scazzerro. If you're unfamiliar with him, please Google him, tap into him, get his books. He deals with the emotionally healthy leader, the emotionally healthy church, all of that. Emotional health and with the spiritual component is a critical component. And he challenges the reader to create a level of balance between the emotions and the spiritual side, because they both actually interact and are interwoven together. And we think that we can compartmentalize the two, but they are needful and necessary to work in tandem, in unison, to have a balanced individual, a balanced life, or more healthy and a whole person. So yeah, Ricky, that is crucial that those two components are paid attention to and are paid attention to in tandem.
So let's start there. Since you brought up that quote and that insight, I think that's a good place to start. How can people fine tune their emotional intelligence? Since the emotional intelligence and spiritual stability are so critical, how can people fine tune their emotional intelligence? Because I think that's so critical. Oftentimes, we allow our feelings to dictate our thoughts, which then govern our lives.
Correct.
Right? So some people forget being sequestered by pandemic. Some people are sequestered by their own emotions.
Yeah.
They are hostage to their own feelings, and their feelings are dictating their choices. And then they wonder why they can't ever seem to get it together.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I do. There's actually a psychological process that happens with all of us every day, all day. Here's what happens. We first hear something or we see something. Step number 2 is that we tell ourselves a story about what we saw, what we heard. That story then informs our emotions. Our emotions then inform our actions.
That's
what
good.
We have direct control over is step number 2, and it happens in nanoseconds. So it takes some practice to kind of slow that process down, and that's the telling of the story.
Right.
And because our human brains are just kind of hardwired in a sense to go negative, we have like between 30,000 and 60,000 thoughts that run through our brain on a daily basis. I know you didn't think you thought that much, but you actually do. And 95% of those thoughts are like negative, and 80% of those thoughts are repetitive from the day before.
Repeat that one more time.
We have between 30 and 60,000 thoughts that run in our mind every day. 95% of those thoughts are negative. 85% of those thoughts are repetitive from the day before. And so we have this inclination to immediately go negative when we hear something or see something. We have to slow our brains down in telling that negative story to reevaluate and to interrogate the story that we're telling ourselves.
Right.
And engage in some cognitive reframing so that we don't always go negative, because when we go negative, our emotions lean towards the negative side, the negative side of the pendulum of emotions, and then that dictates our actions and how we respond and react to certain things. So it's about controlling step number 2 in the story that we tell ourselves. That's how we can enlarge our territory, if I go churchy,
That's
as it
good.
as
That's
it relates to our emotional intelligence. And we can move beyond the space that we're currently thriving in, which again isn't necessarily a healthy space where our feelings are driving us rather than us having control over our feelings.
right. And I think that's very critical. People have to pay. You talking about enlarge your territory? That's really the practical way to enlarge your territory. Like people sing all of these songs. Amy, what's up? I'm gonna shout out some of you that I see coming on. Amy's watching us on Facebook in our Facebook group. Thank you for joining us. So this emotional intelligence. We've heard the song. What is it? One of the. It may be from the '60s. Soul song, "Just My Imagination,"
Yes.
"Running Away with Me." And
Yes.
and oftentimes the sign of emotional fatigue is when you allow your feelings to run away with you.
Yes.
When you start acting out from everything that you feel. And so what we want to help you with today in some very practical ways is how to build into your life. You know what a power strip is. Everybody's seen a power strip. A power strip allows you to plug multiple devices into one electrical outlet. Well, what
Yes.
can happen with that, because you have so many devices going into that outlet and you've got power going out in multiple ways, sort of like our potential goes out on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly, yearly, and throughout our life, you can experience what's called a power surge. Well, all of a sudden, because of the demand for power to go out to those devices, something trips. And so that power surge protector, watch this, protects the devices so that they don't burn out.
That's it.
So what we all need in our life is a power surge protector as we're meeting all the demands that pull on our creativity, that pull on our competencies, that pull on our skill sets, that pull on our ingenuity, that pull on our cognitive resources, that pull on our intellect. It's important for you to have a power surge protector, watch this, that you're plugged into, so that no matter how many different ways you're pulled, you won't burn out, even when it seems like you're overwhelmed. And so,
That's it.
Stephen, I'd like for you to speak to this for a moment. Man, this, look, I'm feeling energized just talking about this subject. And if Stephen doesn't mind, I'd like to take a point of personal privilege, because one of the things that Stephen and I have committed to as friends, as brothers, as strategists, because we don't just provide strategies for other people, we do it for one another.
Yes,
So we
sir.
share dreams, and you can't do that with everybody, and we don't have time. That would be a subscription-based talk, Stephen. So we can't
For
we can't
sure.
give them all of that. But there are some elements you need to consider when it comes to the people you bring into your life. But one of the things he and I do is make sure that we set time to just talk things out and talk things through, things we're dreaming
And
about.
and it's intentional, Rick. That's the key.
Well, that's the point. It's very intentional. And I just wanted to take this point of personal privilege, because that's what we're talking to you about is something we do. So we're not just coming to you all with knowledge that we've accumulated over the years and pulling excerpts from books that we've read and extrapolating concepts, or pulling from notes that we have from our teaching and preaching and leadership mentoring. We're actually telling you what we live. And so what Stephen's going to share with you today is just give you some practical ways where you can build in some power surge protectors. If there's anybody you need to be protected from, I know you don't want to hear this because you've got it all together, but you need to be protected from you. and that's a reality. We all need that from time to time, because
Yeah.
the worst time to make decisions is when you're tired of you. Okay, let me go churchy, Stephen.
Yes,
Is there
sir.
anybody out there that's ever been tired of yourself? You know, I always make the joke, Stephen, whenever I'm invited to to a singles conference. They used to call me a
Mhm.
lot when I was single. And now I'm like, why y'all calling me? I don't want to be bothered with y'all. I'm under my boo, you know. But 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 whenever they call me to do singles conferences, I always make a joke. I oh, I'm getting ready to get in trouble, but it's our platform.
Go for
Uh,
it, man.
One of the jokes I make whenever I'm called to come to singles conferences, I say, first of all, the people that probably really need to be here to hear what I'm about to share are out booed up somewhere under somebody they won't be with next week. Okay, so most of the people at the singles conference, never mind. I'm gonna just leave it right there. Need something else to do. But one of the points I always make is I say, how do you expect somebody to want to be around you when you're tired of you?
Exactly.
Think about that. And
Yes.
so for the leader that's watching, the entrepreneur that's watching, I want to ask you, what makes you useful? I don't care how talented you are. I don't care
Yep.
how creative you are. What makes you useful to others if you are of no use to yourself? I see people all the time who are highly successful, who are highly driven, but they're no longer useful to them. And let me tell you, you are only as valuable to the world as you are to yourself. And so, what we're getting ready to show you right now is how to maintain your value. Because once you burn out or you go jump off a building, I'm not joking, this is serious.
Real.
We're helping somebody escape suicide today. We're serious about this because many of the people that commit suicide are not people that are non-productive.
Yes,
It's
sir.
people that appear to have everything all together. And all
Yep.
of a sudden, they just literally drop out.
Yeah.
And so the person that you need to be most valuable to is yourself. So we want to protect you from you and help you build some things in your life that will help you to maintain your value. Stephen, talk to us, man.
Yeah, man. So I do the power packs every month on my platform, the Mirror Moment Movement, my subscription platform.
Right,
And what's interesting is that when we were putting this piece together for the day, um, it tied right into the power pack that just dropped this past Tuesday. The piece on relationship, because I do two tracks, leadership and relationship. So in the leadership track, I dealt with the influential leader, and in the relationship track, I dealt with the art of meditation. And I know even for like churchy people, like real churchy people, meditation can sound weird and
right,
scary.
right,
Oh, that's that Eastern stuff. That's that Buddha stuff. Please, please get rid of your bad theology and
right,
engage in the church history class and go back to understand how far meditation goes back, even within the realm of Christianity and the West. Yes, it started
right,
in the East, made its transition over to the West, but it's a part of our discipline, or it should be a part of our daily discipline
right,
in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So if you want more information about the art of meditation and tips and tools and tricks and all of that stuff, please connect with that Mirror Moment Movement so that you can get that ebook that I wrote about it, and then the other resources that are connected. But I think that's one of the best ways for us to engage in putting in place that surge protector, to ground or to divert that surge of power that hits us. And one of the surges of power, Rick, that hits us is stress. And we know that stress is the silent killer. So let me give us just, I know people like numbers and want those notes. So let me give you 5 steps that you can take
right.
to move towards that stress-free life and implement meditation as a surge protector. Number one, I want to challenge us to simplify our schedules. Simplify our schedules.
That's good.
And here it is in COVID. A lot of people thought, oh, this is going to be a time of rest and reprieve. But for so many people, we've amped up our agendas, our schedules. We're more busier than we were pre-COVID. So simplify your schedule. And the best way to do that, and I get it, this is, again, Rick and I are talking about ourselves and our own personal challenges. This can be difficult for us. So we know it can be difficult for you in terms of simplifying your schedule, but you got to look at your responsibilities and evaluate the importance in your life every day. Does this really matter? Is
Right.
this really worth my time, my energy, and my effort? Can I give this to somebody else to take? Can somebody on the team do this better than me? Can I delegate? Can I stop thinking that if I don't do it, it's not going to get done and the organization, the business is not going to survive?
Right.
I'm talking to some senior pastor that's watching right now. Sir, ma'am, let it go. Have a frozen moment. Let it go, let it go, let it
Right.
go.
Yes.
All
Stephen,
right.
you said something a moment ago when you start going into these that I think is so critical. And that is that this power surge protector creates a grounding.
Yes.
I think that's an operative word. And
Yep.
it's amazing that in the electrical context that concept would be used because that's the key to mental health is to be
Yes.
ground like now this is fodder for preaching now, so you all have to excuse us because even in the epistles it talks about being rooted and
Correct.
grounded, right,
Correct.
in love.
Yes.
That's I believe if there was ever a time that we need to be grounded, the time is now. The antithesis of being grounded is being flighty.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Not having a consistency in your thought, a continuity of thought. So what we're trying to help you with today is to be grounded in your life. So because the more grounded you are, the more rooted you are, is the farther you can go. And that's very critical. So you
Yes.
want to be able to we know you know what this show is about. We want to help you to maximize your potential, mobilize your purpose, and multiply your productivity. So we want to make sure that you're properly grounded so you can go as far as you need to go. So number one, Stephen says simplify your schedule. What's the next one, Stephen?
To simply meditate. Number two is to simply meditate.
Yeah,
And,
I'm
and
kidding,
some
Nod. I
and
was getting ready
so
to start right now.
so let me break it down because again, people have these misnomers
They
about
do.
what meditation is. Meditation is simply a practice that's used to both train our attention and our awareness
Hold on,
and
Stephen. Hold on. Get your Buddha in your life. That's. I just want y'all to get the illustration.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Get
Rick.
this what I ain't saying turn to Buddhism, but this just represents Zen. This
That's
is in
it.
my house, so I
I
make
got
it
one
bad now.
too.
Nobody gonna want me to preach or nothing, but Stephen got one too, so I'm not by myself.
Yes, sir.
Get you some Zen, some meditation. I just had to pull out the illustration. Now that was not planned, totally organic, but
But this Zen place, this meditative space that we need to engage in, it gets us to mental clarity and emotional stability. And meditation looks like different things. So whoever's watching that's got arthritis, I can't get down on the floor and cross my legs. It doesn't necessarily have to be that.
right,
Meditation can look a whole lot of different ways, but it actually reverses your stress response and
right,
gives your body a chance to normalize. So maybe your meditation looks like first thing in the morning, you get up an extra 15 minutes before the balance of the family gets up. You find your quiet space. Maybe it's in the shower. Maybe you go in your closet and close the door behind you, and you just kind of focus in on whatever. Maybe it's, well, Stephen, I don't know how to clear my mind. One of the easiest ways to do that is to focus on your breathing. Every time your mind starts to go somewhere else, come back and focus on your breathing, and that will kind of center you back in. So, number one,
Stephen. On that point of meditation, Dr. Howard Hendricks said the secret to concentration is elimination.
yeah,
What meditation does is it gets the waste out of your thoughts.
yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? That's the process of elimination. And it helps you to become clear and focused. Stephen was talking about that breathing. There are a plethora of apps, whether you've got an
For sure.
Android or Apple, doesn't matter. There are a plethora of apps that will help you in this process of meditation, of centering yourself, of focusing yourself. So that's very critical. Simplify your schedule, practice meditation, practice this process of concentration by elimination. And then what's number three, Stephen?
Number three, get moving. And that
Yes.
means exercise, uh, be-
Yes.
because it pumps endorphins through your body, through your system. And it's a form of movement meditation. Again, I said meditation can look different ways. So it's a form of movement meditation. And the endorphins that it pumps through your body help to clear out the cortisol and the other chemicals that are flowing through your body that produce stress.
Right.
And so it reverses that whole situation and brings clarity, peace, zen to your life. And I know you don't want to exercise, but it doesn't have to be you pumping weight and you just getting swole. Get moving, have some level of activity, walk up and down the stairs in your house, walk around your property, something to kind of get your body moving so that the reversal process of the stress can take place.
Yes. That's very, very critical. So if you implement, we just gave you 3 things today because we want this to become real. We want this to be inherent. Were those the primary 3, Stephen, you had?
I got 2 more.
You got 2 more. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. No, I want to make sure they get it all today.
Sure. Number 4 is to be creative. Be creative, because creative outlets give your mind a reprieve from the hard things in life. So even this piece that we're doing, the revolution will not be televised, it'll be streamed. This is a creative expression for Rick and I. So he talked a minute ago about, I'm feeling energized and just being on here today talking about this because we're in our creative space.
Right.
And so that produces a different level of chemical, again, endorphins that are flowing through your body, bringing you to this zen space, this happy space, this peaceful space. And whatever your hobbies are, just do them. So many of us, Rick, we used to do stuff. We used to have fun.
Right.
And we didn't get older. Go get you a coloring book and some crayons.
You know what? Yesterday I'm riding with my wife yesterday evening. This is really funny. And I drove by a park, and for whatever reason, the swings grabbed my attention.
Yeah.
And I said to her, you know what? I said, I'm going to get back on the swing. Literally, I have not been on a swing probably since junior high school. But that's the key. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It's weird, Stephen, how we think today. Everything's got to be grandiose. It's got to be Insta-worthy. No, the stuff that really matter in your life doesn't need to be shared with anybody.
It don't make it to the gram.
Yeah, we need people to start living again.
Yes, sir.
Stop putting everything. Let me talk to y'all. Come a little closer. Stop putting everything on Instagram and Facebook. Just live. The people I enjoy talking about, I never post anything about them. The people I enjoy being around, I never show where we go, what we do, never.
Sure.
You know why? Because it's for me. It's my life. It ain't for public consumption. And I really question, Stephen, if people are enjoying life, if they're always sharing what they're doing with people that are not a part of what they're doing.
Correct.
I want to share it with the people that are doing it with me. I don't really care to share with people that are not there. What are they getting out of it? Or better yet, what is it that you lack?
Exactly.
That you're trying to gain from sharing a pseudo experience with people that are not there. But to Stephen's point, be creative. I mean, just do something you hadn't done. Like I talked about, go and get on a swing, playing jacks. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
jump rope, hula hoop.
Yeah,
whatever.
Something. Yes.
My final piece for us, Rick, is weird to some people, but those of us who get it. And it's showing gratitude.
Oh, man.
One of the best things you can do, especially when you're in a down space, a depressed space, not feeling your best, you just lost out on a deal, a contract, promotion, whatever, is to go and be a blessing to somebody else. To show gratitude, to extend your hand.
Stephen, I told you we was just going to talk today. Let me tell you, man, I believe gratitude is the most underrated attribute that anybody could have in their life. Gratitude. Let me tell you, your gratitude will get you in places and spaces that your giftings will not get you in.
Correct.
That your talent, I'm telling you. And you and I talked about this on our show with Kervance and
Christian.
Christian, thank you. Where we talked about the Bible tells me so. And
Yes.
I quoted the scripture that people often misquote. Your gifts will make room for you. And people misinterpret that scripture as if it's saying your talent, like somebody will see how gifted you are and open
Yes.
a door. But in the literal translation, that's not what it's saying. What it's literally saying is that what you bring to somebody else will create an opportunity for you. Literally, your gifts, literally, your treasure,
Yeah.
literally, your gratitude. That's what the scripture means. Go look it up in the Hebrew. Your gifts will make room for you. I need you to hear what my brother and my friend is saying right now. What we're giving you is more than just tips, we're giving you tools.
Yeah.
So, this gratitude, just saying thank you. I try to be incessant in saying thank you. I don't care what. Give me a marshmallow. I'm saying thank you. Because my daddy told me nobody has to be nice to you.
That's it, man.
They should be, but they don't have to be. And it don't cost you anything just to show somebody you appreciate. My fellow host here, I don't think you can beat this dude in the area of gratitude. There are many areas you can't beat him in, but gratitude is one of them. He's just one of the kindest cats. And I didn't mean to put him on the spot like that, but he practices that art of gratitude. And I try to surround myself. First of all, grateful people
Yes,
are
sir.
fun people to be around.
Exactly.
Okay, so I can't be around ungrateful folk because they mean. They're nasty. I like being around grateful people because they're fun folk to be around. But talk
Sure,
about
man.
this a little bit more, Stephen. Why is this gratitude so important?
Man, it kind of like empties us. It causes us to be reflective on what we have, juxtaposed to what we don't have, because that's what's bogging down a lot of people, causing stress in a lot of lives. We because we're chasing Jason in a sense. We're trying to keep up with the Joneses. It's all about impressing and getting more and consuming more, and we don't recognize what all we have, what all we've done. I recall a business partner who's no longer a business partner did do one thing in that relationship that
Okay.
was good, and she pulled me to the carpet. I was chasing the goal of starting my own clothing line, and she was in the process of trying to help me do that. And she was like, and I was like going at it, trying to go hard at it. And she was like, "Have you paused to recognize all you've done?
Mm.
How many stores you've had, how much revenue you've generated, what you've done in business, like in this short amount of time, is people that have been in business 30, 40 years and haven't done what you did in maybe like 10, 12 years.
Wow.
Have you thought about it?" And I hadn't. And I was like, whoa. And there was something that I posted the other day, I think last week or so on Facebook. There was a meme that caught my attention. I posted it in my caption above it. I talked about in college, I was granted an opportunity to try to help a guy sell his movie production studio.
Yes. That was a great post. Yes.
Thank you, man. And I turned around after trying to pitch it to a few people and couldn't find anybody. And I said, well, let me go for it myself. And at like 19, 20 years old, this was pre-Google. I know nothing about the movie production industry,
Right.
none of that stuff. I was able to stand in front of a room of investors, 4 or 5 Black guys who never met me before.
Mm-hmm.
I made my pitch and my presentation. And the next day I was informed that they wanted to give me $20 million. And I only asked for one.
Wow.
So yeah. And when I asked them, why is it that you guys are so willing to give me this money? They said, because you had a grateful attitude and spirit. You didn't ask for nothing. You
Did
didn't
y'all
try to
hear that?
demand anything.
Wow.
Because I closed out that presentation saying, listen, I don't bring much to the table. I don't know much about the music business or the movie business. If at the end of the day, I can be a part of the deal that brings the first African Americans to the table that own a movie production studio,
Right.
I'll be happy with that. They said that that was the thing that got it for them. That said, we can trust this guy and we can invest and put $20 million into this guy's bank
Wow.
account for him to move forward with this deal. And
Wow.
so being gracious, having gratitude, not trying to get over on people, appreciating what you do have, continue to work towards what you want to have, and blessing other people along the way. That's the way to get it. And by the time you done all that, Rick, you didn't forget about all the stuff that you ain't got,
Right.
that you haven't accomplished, that's burdening you down. And we recognize that we're more blessed than we actually believe.
Well, that's the power of gratefulness. Gratefulness literally accentuates the positive because it puts the emphasis on what you already have in your hands
Yep.
and not what you don't see in your life.
Yes.
And when you learn the value of what you already have, again, we started this conversation by talking about the value of you. That's a whole show by itself. Uh, but that's what we started this conversation with. That's why it's so important for you to build power surge protectors into your life. We need you all to understand something very candidly. We're not doing this for likes. We're not doing this for thumbs up. We're not
Yep.
doing this because we don't have anything better to do. We're not doing this because now in this pandemic era, it's in vogue to have a podcast. We're really doing this because we want to add something to your life. We're not doing this because we're bored. We're simply doing this because we want your life to be better. We're not trying to trend. We're trying to transform. Now I need you to ride with that because that's what we're trying to do. So
Rick, pause. Hit the
yes,
button. Hit the
okay.
button, please, sir.
And what I said was, we're not trying to trend, we're trying to transform. All right. So we,
Yes,
we, we
sir.
we want you to get that. Stephen, quickly give them a recap of the five as
Sure.
we prepare to provide them resources they can connect to so that they can continue to maximize their potential, mobilize their purpose, and multiply their possibilities. Give us
Yes,
these
sir.
five. Listen intently. If you just came on, welcome. But I want you to hear the five things you need to do to protect yourself from yourself and build in power surge protectors in your life.
Number one, simplify your schedule. Number two, engage the art of meditation in your life. Number three, get moving, put some exercise into your routine. Number four, be creative. Get into your creative zone, whatever that may be, however elementary, coloring books, hula hoops, jacks, hopscotch, double dutch, whatever it is, be creative. Number five, show gratitude.
Yes.
These things implemented into your life will reduce your stress level, help you to enlarge the territory of your emotional intelligence, and help you to protect yourself when the surge comes to your life, to ground the surge so that the surge of power coming into your life, namely stress, doesn't destroy you.
So, what Stephen just shared with you is an excerpt from his ebook for this month, which is a part of the Mirror Moments Movement Power Pack. And you can go and subscribe to that Mirror Moments Movement by going to Thurston.com. Also, you can meet him live, virtually, that is, every Tuesday. Somebody say, where are we going? No, virtually. On
Virtually.
his Facebook page at Stephen J. Thurston every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time, just in case you need to know and didn't want to feel left out on the West Coast. But make sure you connect to all that he's doing. And then, of course, you can connect to me with me at rickyallman.org. You'll find everything there, or just find me on all social media platforms at Ricky Allman. Meet me Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Life Talks. I promise you, your life will be revolutionized. It will be transformed. It will be
Yes.
inspired. But thank y'all for joining us today. Stay tuned for what's coming next. Make sure you like this video if you're watching this in our Facebook group. And those in our Facebook group, you are our co-hosts. All of you are. So here's what we need you to do. We need you to go get some more people in the group. Tell them they need to connect. Stop by.
That's it.
We've got some stuff for you, and engage us, because you never know when we'll pop up in the group. Stephen may pop up one day and just do a live and come in. I think they have something called rooms now, Stephen, on
Yes.
Facebook. So he might pop up. I may pop up. We may just post some interactive things. And we're getting ready to do something for authors, Stephen, during the month of October. We want to do something for authors. We want to do an author spotlight. So maybe you got an ebook or a book that you put out we need it to be within the last year. Okay, so within the last year, you've put out a book. But all jokes aside, if you put out a book, period, and you feel like that it will be something that will be beneficial to our group, please, once we put an announcement out, we want to know about you so we can spotlight you. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to the Ricky Allmon channel. Stephen, what's your YouTube channel?
It's my name, Stephen J. Thurston.
Stephen J. Thurston. Find his channel. Subscribe to his channel. Make sure you stay connected. And this has been The Revolution. Will not be televised. It will be live streamed with Ricky Allmon and Stephen Thurston. We're going to see you next week. We'll holler.